fires up June 1st, but tonight, there is the potential for a little something, David Paul.
So the Hurricane Center is watching this spot right here in the Gulf of Mexico. We started watching it early this afternoon, and actually Blake Matthews and I were kind of like, wait a minute, something may be trying to bubble up down here. And the Hurricane Center late this afternoon, early this evening, actually chimed in and said, yeah, okay, we see it. There's a 20% chance that this down here could develop into a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm. Again, just a 20% chance. However, the sea surface temperatures over the Gulf are very warm. Upper level winds are mildly favorable for development. There's a little ridge over the top of this at the upper levels. That's conducive to development. It's light winds over what would be the center. There is there's a weak, ill-defined little circulation trying to form right there. So the system's all lopsided. It's all off to the right-hand side. That means whatever's trying to form here is struggling. It's weak. We're not going to have a big hurricane develop here.
Right. But it is a tropical something.
Well, these are notorious rainmakers. That's what they are. We need to raise this up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on.
Hang in there with us. Perhaps you can't hear David very clearly. Yeah. We're going to get to
four.
the bottom of that.
It's mic. Oh, yeah. Well, it's mic. So
Okay.
we'll get the right mic turned on here in just a second.
Hopefully you can hear us on my microphone at least, and maybe perhaps we'll scooch in a little bit closer here.
Just take your finger and just draw a little circle right there. Yeah, you be the weather person.
There we go.
That's where a little center might be trying to form. And in fact, if you look at this, we'll freeze it. See this little curly Q right here trying to curl in, if you just kind of extrapolate that. So it's trying to draw in a little circulation here.
Curious to know, Dave, does this have anything to do with this system that we just saw come through and cause severe storms that we had the other night?
It actually does. This is remnant thunderstorms from what blew off the upper and middle Texas coast. It blew out here. The southern end of that line has been sitting here for now a day and a half. And that's very common to see a line of thunderstorms come off and get over the Gulf of Mexico, particularly this time of year. And the longer they can hang out here, the more chance they have of getting a little better organized, getting low pressure to develop. And we've seen this before. In fact, this is not dissimilar to how Tropical Storm Allison formed back in '01. It formed kind of out of nothing. Hurricane Alicia in '83 was a line of thunderstorms that came off and then sat out here, and then Alicia began here as a depression, came around and became a Cat 3 hurricane and got us.
That's a little bit alarming because I remember Alicia, you remember Alicia, and when you say that's what it did, but once again, this is a 20% chance. Nothing is organized even as of yet.
And let me show you the latest guidance on this. This is going to be the GFS, excuse me, this is the European model. So these are the winds right now over the Gulf of Mexico, and they're not very well organized, but see, there's a little...
the little hump there.
A little hump. That's what's called a wave. So it's a way up and over and around. That's a wave. It is not a closed circulation. It's an open, it has an opening. It's an open wave.
Maria Fonseca, yes, this is in the Gulf of Mexico that we're talking about. This is in the Gulf of Mexico right now, that wave or that hump that we were just talking about, that area that David Paul is monitoring so closely.
That's a good question. Sometimes it's hard to set your bearings on some of these maps. But this is the Gulf, there's Houston, there's Corpus, there's Brownsville. This is something that will impact us, I think, as a rainmaker. Now, this is what the same wind model forecast looks like for tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon. And you can see there's our wave, but look, at this point, it's trying to close off a circulation. So if we can get a complete 360-degree closed circulation, that would be called a tropical depression.
Okay, so a question from Jose Garcia. He asked, any high or low pressure above the Gulf Coast that might help push it out?
It's actually being pushed in by an area of high pressure. There's a big high pressure area off here to the north and east. That's what's giving us this broad circulation right now. And so this little wave is going to ride that circulation right into the middle Texas coast.
Yeah. I know any time that there are arrows going in all directions and they all converge in the same area, that spells trouble.
And that's what we've got. So as we head into tomorrow evening, you see how these arrows really start converging here? There's a convergence zone. So that might set up where we would have training thunderstorms. where you would get a rain band. That would be conducive for setting up a band of rain that would come off the Gulf, and it would just go over and over and over the same area. And the model suggests that area is going to be the upper Texas coast here where we are in Houston and Galveston. So there is the potential. This is the type of setup that can bring in just a ton of tropical moisture, set up a rain band or two, and that could cause flash flooding, especially with how wet the ground is right now.
And is it as early as tomorrow night? Because we have Bree K, she's asking, when will we start to see the effects of this?
So tomorrow afternoon, we're going to begin to see a much better rain chance. You'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms bubble up. And then going into Friday night and through the day on Saturday is when we would have some of the heaviest rain if this all plays out. I'm going to show you that rain forecast. Let's get to that. So the low doesn't sit on us. It scoots toward Austin by Saturday morning. But notice how we're still in that zone where all the winds are coming together.
Dare I say the dirty side of the storm?
You got it. You got that right. It's the dirty side. Yeah, it's the
boy.
west side. Even on a weak, even if this doesn't form into anything, we're going to be on the dirty side of that tropical wave, and that could bring a lot of rain. This doesn't sit on us, and by Sunday, it's back to just this onshore flow, no focusing mechanism. That should give us a break. Scattered showers on Sunday. So let's look at you're asking about the rain bands. So all day today, we've actually had a heavy rain band, but it has set up. We have, but not right here. We've been very lucky. It's set up over Lake Charles, who've had flash flood warnings all day long today. It's been very bad in Lake Charles today, because this is day 3 for them having this heavy rain. We got a break. It pushed far enough here, and then it just stopped. So we've had this convergence zone today right here across.
Love that we've had a break. Hate that for Lake Charles because
Yeah.
of everything they dealt with last season. I mean, that's the thing. People are just weather fatigued in this part of the country and just trying to constantly come up for air. Francine asked, how much rain should we expect?
So that's a question right now.
Yeah, big question mark.
It's not set in stone that we're going to have a big flood. Not at all. In fact, the latest runs don't have a whole lot of rain. The trouble is it wouldn't take much more than a few inches with the saturated ground to cause flash flooding again. So we're going to have to watch it carefully. This is the latest computer run. Here we are at 9 o'clock. Here's our rain band across southwest Louisiana. However, as we go forward in time, let's go into Friday morning. Still a rain band here, but look out in the Gulf of Mexico. We're forecasting a little bit more shower activity there. That reaches the upper Texas coast and Houston tomorrow early afternoon. So rain chances really ramp up after lunchtime tomorrow.
Yeah. Poor Carol Humrick House. She says, no, we have a big pool party planned for Saturday, months in the making. I feel you, girlfriend. So come Saturday,
Yeah.
if this does develop, we could see a significant amount of rain potentially on Saturday.
Wow.
And then potentially,
So this is Friday night, and maybe a suggestion of a rain band. That's a little concerning. It's nothing overblown. We go into Saturday morning, scattered showers in the morning, maybe a rain band setting off up here. Again, the computer model is doing the best it can. It can't absolutely pinpoint it, but this could end up being a rain band. This could be an approaching rain band as well, going into the middle of the day on Saturday. Saturday looks wet.
yeah,
It just looks
no
wet.
way around that.
No. Saturday night, it looks really wet. The thing we're going to have to watch for, Mia, is if we get one of those rain bands, where it would just like a boxcar on a train, over and over again, those boxcars just go over the same area. That's what we'll have to watch for.
Training thunderstorms.
Training thunderstorms. It's not set in stone. It's not guaranteed that this is going to happen. Some of the models only have a couple inches of rain out of this Friday night through Saturday. I've seen this setup enough to know that this is the type of setup that can dump 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain in a hurry.
How fast is it expected to move, asked Josh Elliott. It seems like it's maybe a one-day event if it develops into something.
It's about a 24-hour event. Friday afternoon, Friday night, through the middle of the day and into the evening on Saturday, and then it should pull out, and we would just get like scattered thunder showers on Sunday. So it's really Friday night through the day on Saturday that would be a concern.
Got it. Where might it go? Just one more time review here for Susie as we wrap up, David.
Sure, and what I'll do is I'll show you the computer model forecast. So here we are now with our little wave trying to form out here. This is now. Here we are going into tomorrow afternoon. There's our little system trying to get better organized. So that would begin to give us a much better rain chance Friday afternoon. We go into Friday evening, there's our little low, not far from Houston, Galveston. Look at all the moisture pooling right in over southeast Texas. That's when I think our heavy rain threat begins, really Friday evening. So follow the center of it. It's here at 8 o'clock Friday evening. By the time we get to Saturday morning, look, it's moved all the way to Austin, so it's not going to sit on us. But even with the center of a low in that position, we're still on the wet side of this thing.
Yeah.
And then it gets out of here Saturday evening, and we're done with it. We just go back to scattered showers on Sunday.
Yeah. David, when will you know or be able to pinpoint more just the potential for this? It's always as time goes by and watching that wave, that hump, the airflow, all of that.
What I need to see is that as a low pressure area really begin to form a complete circle. Okay, if I see that, and if that happens, it's going to be the middle of the afternoon tomorrow. If that happens middle of the afternoon tomorrow, that will really begin to set off some alarm bells with me, because that allows for better organization of those training thunderstorms.
Okay.
And maybe that won't happen. Maybe it will stay an open wave, maybe it'll move on through, and we won't get these heavy rain bands. But the reason we're here and we're watching this so carefully, and I need you to stay close to the forecast tonight, tomorrow night, is that this is the type of setup. These weak, quasi early season tropical lows that aren't perfect, that are kind of a mess, are notorious rainmakers.
Last question from Adriana Richardson. So besides the potential for flash flooding, which is already bad enough, will there be anything else severe? You know, I think people start wondering about wind conditions and such.
I don't think so. Anytime you've got a twist in the atmosphere and you do get developing thunderstorms, you can get a small tornado. So I think a gustnado, an EF0 tornado would be possible. But really, it's the rain threat that would be by far the biggest threat. And we're going to know more. We're going to get updated runs before the 10 o'clock news. I'll show them to you on the TV side at 10. And then it's really tomorrow afternoon and evening to see how this thing evolves, and we'll have team coverage and watch it carefully together.
Folks, you know how this goes. You got to stay connected, stay tapped into David Paul to know what's going on hour by hour, day by day. But be sure you join us tonight at 10. As he mentioned, he's going to have the latest information for you then. Thanks so much for joining us for now. We'll see you in just a bit at 10 on the TV side. Thank you.